Agustín Caloca was born on the 5th of May in 1898 in a ranch called Las Prasitas in San Juan Bautista del Teul, Zacatecas. He was the son of Edwigues Caloca and Maria Plutarca Cortés. Agustín studied along with the local parish priest, Luis Gomez. As he grew older, he was sent to the seminary in Guadalajara in 1912, along with 5 other young kids from the same town. He was 14 years old. Agustín lived in complicated times. The government wanted to gain power and influence. One strategy they had was to take land and buildings from the church. Their intention was to substitute the divine influence of the church with the influence of the government. The government began taking action against priests too. The priests were punished for conducting the Mass. It was a difficult time for Christian believers, especially for Catholics. This was a time when the faith was tested. In 1914, due to government persecution, the seminary in Guadalajara was closed. Agustín, along with the other students, were sent home. In 1915, Cristobal Magallanes founded the auxiliary seminary called the Silvestre in Totatiche, Jalisco. Agustín was able to continue his religious studies there. He was among the first 5 students to be ordained as priests. As a seminarist, Agustín spent his vacations on the ranch of his parents, called La Lobera. He assisted in the local parish every week, and he also organized catechist centers in the ranches. He gave them instructions on how to continue the work all year, even when Agustín wasn't there. He would invite all the people to pray daily the Santo Rosario. In 1919, he moved to the Central Seminary to continue his studies. He was remarked as a brilliant student. He was ordained a priest by Señor Orozco, Archbishop of Guadalajara, on the 5th of August, 1923. He sang his first Mass that same month in his native land in El Teul. Priest Magallanes also assisted to give the sermon. He was then sent to Totatiche, and it's here that he lived to the day of his martyrdom. According to his brother, Agustín liked history and told him about historical events during their trips together. He always got up at 5 a.m. to meditate, sometimes while working in the fields, even during harsh weather. His life was devoted to his ministry. In his efforts to support others, he ended up giving away all of his savings. For some reason, he felt his end was near. In 1927, he received a message from Cristobal Magallanes. The note informed him that there was an order to imprison him and other priests. Within a few months, the soldiers of the Federation had reached the entrance of the seminary. Agustín Caloca, the prefect of the seminary, ordered all students to abandon the place immediately. He advised the students to disperse and pretend to be ordinary members of the community. He decided to stay last in the seminary to destroy the books and papers he used to teach the students. He wanted to give an impression that the place was just a regular church and not a school for priests. He then left with one of his students, Rafale Haro. Agustín took as many books as he could carry with him. On their way to the ranch of Santa Maria, Agustín sent the young Rafale down a slope. He had to look for a big rock to hide some books they were carrying. Rafale Haro described the incident as follows. In those moments, I started to hear people shouting down there in the valley. I could see the Federation soldiers rush through the trees. They were chasing the priests who escaped. Captured by orders of General Francisco Goñi, Agustín was transferred to Totatiche as a prisoner. He was put in the same cell with Father Cristobal Magallanes, his old teacher. Because of his young age, Agustín was offered the opportunity to escape. But he refused unless Father Magallanes was freed too. Facing his imminent execution, Agustín expressed, "We by God live, and for him we die." Father Coloca and Father Magallanes were then executed. After the execution, the bodies of both priests were rested in the Guadalupe graveyard of the town. In 1933, their bodies were exhumed, and the heart of Agustín was found uncorrupted. He now lies in rest with respect and veneration in the parish of San Juan Bautista in El Teul.